Hello everyone, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about the films that I have watched in March. That includes horror and non-horror. And the platform that I'm gonna use, the website app that I'm gonna use is called Letterboxd. By the way, this video is not a sponsor. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna use this app, and in case you don't know what Letterboxd is, you should definitely get one because this platform helps you to review and rank your favorite movies of all time. And you can interact with different film lovers all around the world. And it allows you to create lists so you can separate your films. I have my phone over here. We're gonna check the films that I have watched, and this is a great opportunity to talk about non-horror films over this channel because I also watch films that are non-horror. So welcome back everyone to another video here on this channel, Royal Horror. I got inspired to do this video thanks to some YouTubers that I have watched that they do this over their channel. For example, Possessed by Horror, Spooky Astronauts, Haunted Hippie, Jennifer Vega. I got inspired by you guys to film this video, and let's start with the first film that I've watched in March is Wrong Turn from 2021. Now I already reviewed this film, so if you want to see my full thoughts on this film, just click up here. But basically I gave 4 stars and a full heart because I love this movie, and so far it's one of the best horror movies of 2021. Next film that I watched is Hostel from 2005. Now, I personally didn't enjoy this film too much. I gave half a star out of 5. And basically what I wrote is that this film was quite unnecessary because, to be honest, I don't really enjoy people getting tortured just to have fun. Even though the cinematography was great, some camera shots were also great. Quite controversial because I prefer Saw, but I think Saw and Hostel are quite different, and I think Saw is more unique, and I just don't enjoy Hostel at all. The next film that I watched is the first non-horror one, and it's Inside Out from 2015. Now, this is one of my favorite Pixar movies of all time, and basically because the whole storyline, it can be given to kids, teenagers and adults, and I think that's quite cool. I gave 4 stars out of 5 and a full heart. The next one will be Toy Story from 1995. I think it's such a solid Pixar film, the characters are very enjoyable and the storyline is funny. The next one that I watched is The Jungle Book from 2016. Now, this is the first live action I watched at the cinemas. I gave 3 stars and a half and a full heart. And basically, what I wrote is that I love the fact that it's not a musical. Now, I really enjoy that this film has a few songs, but it's not the whole movie, the characters singing, so that was quite cool. The next one that I watched is The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. Now, I'm planning to do a full review of this movie, but basically what I wrote is absolutely masterpiece, one of the best horror films ever made, disturbing, dark and creepy, forever a classic. The next one that I watched is Wrong Turn from 2003. I gave 4 stars and a full heart. The next one that I watched is the sequel, Wrong Turn 2 from 2007. Now, this movie is a guilty pleasure because it's not the best movie of all time, but it's very enjoyable and it's very funny. The film that I watched is The Curse of La Llorona from 2019. Now, this film, I love the Conjuring universe, so I like this film. I don't love it, and that's why I didn't give a heart. I gave 2 stars. And the main reason is, like I said about my review, I will never understand why this movie didn't take this opportunity to finally have a horror Latin movie in the Conjuring universe. Don't know why they decided to go for LA. It's quite cliche, and that's right, because La Llorona is a Mexican, it's a Latin legend, it's not a United States legend, so I don't know why LA. The next film that I watched is Valentine from 2001. I gave 1 star and a half, and I say this movie, Limao, is so funny and entertaining. Don't expect big things, and that's right, this movie I think is just to have fun, relax. The next one will be The Slumber Party Massacre, the sequel. I gave half a star because this movie was very necessary. The next one will be Saint Maud from 2019. That's wrong because this movie is from 2021. But this film I gave 1 star and a half. I know many people have loved this, but I personally didn't. And the main reason is because nothing happens in the movie. It has great acting and a cinematography. And that's correct because the acting is very respectable, but I just didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel disturbed like I did with the Hereditary and Midsommar. The next one will be Scream. I don't have to say anything else. 4 stars out of 5. The next one will be The Cabin in the Woods from 2011. I gave 2 stars and a heart. Now, this film is very enjoyable and it has a great comedy side. This movie should have ended before they show the final reveal because that was quite cheesy, so I think that was ruined the movie, and that's why I gave 2 stars. The next film that I watched is Love, Simon from 2018. I gave 3 stars and a half and a full heart. And that's right, I think this movie, the main actor, the main character, I think we didn't really get to see him suffering like with the family and stuff. I also love the representation because it's a LGBT plus movie and I will always love that. They should have added some struggles that LGBT people will have to face against some people. It's definitely a must watch and I think it's very funny. It's a family movie, so you will definitely have a good time, but don't expect this character having so many issues. The next one that we have is WandaVision from 2021. 5 stars and a full heart. I love this so much. Next one that we have is Greenland from 2020. Now, 5 stars out of 5, a full heart. I love this action scene, incredible movie, one of the best cinematographies I have ever seen in my opinion. The next one will be Coming to America from 2021. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not a big fan of comedy films, and this movie shows why. Comedies are not my cup of tea. It's a cliche storyline with so many farts comedy. You don't know how many times this movie tried to make me laugh. The next one will be Relic from 2021. This 3 stars and a half and a full heart. And I wrote this. Why is nobody talking about this film? I loved it. A polarizing, dark, creepy film that uses loads of horror metaphors about dementia. Great acting, I care about these characters, and it's definitely a rewatch to understand it better. This is the reason why I love when horror films make you think, because to be honest, I didn't understand this movie too much and I had to ask my friend Kylie so she could explain me a little bit better, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's an incredible movie, definitely check it out. The next one will be Akron from 2015. 4 stars and a full heart. Now, finally, a LGBT plus movie with characters where the storyline is not their sexuality, and that's right. Love the Latin representation and the acting is actually entertaining, definitely an enjoyable watch. Will be Train to Busan from 2016, 5 stars and a full heart, my favorite zombie movie of all time. I have no words to describe how perfect and impactful this movie is. Love the ending, it made me cry, and I always will love this film so much. The next one will be Split from 2016, another fantastic film. The whole idea is incredible and the performance by James and Anya are brutal. The next one will be Eden Lake from 2008. Now, 3 stars and a half and a full heart, and the main reason is because this is absolutely heartbreaking. This film, like I said before, it made me realize that I had emotions I didn't know I had, like, whoa, like, this was so unexpected. The ending, you don't see the ending coming at all, and it feels so real. So please check Eden Lake as soon as possible. Now, the next one is The Invisible Man from 2020. Now, this movie is perfection. If you wanna know why, definitely check the Oscar race over Haunted Hippie and you will know why this movie is perfect. 5 stars and a full heart. The next one will be Wonder Woman, the sequel from 2020. 2 stars. Now, I love Wonder Woman, I love Gal Gadot, but I think this movie was quite cliche. The next one will be Dead Silence, 2 stars and a half, but I gave a heart because it's quite cheesy, but I enjoyed this cheesy movie. The next one will be Mingers, 5 stars out of 5 and a whole heart. The best comedy in my opinion that I have ever watched, great characters with impressive development, a comedy that leaves a reflection to the audience. The next one will be Odd Thomas from 2013. Now, 1 star and a half and a whole heart. The main reason is because this film had a great concept but I just didn't know how to give it. I felt interested thanks to the main actor. The next one will be 12 Hours Shift from 2020. Now, this film is so boring. Please, I wouldn't recommend to watch this film because I think the protagonist was very tedious and the whole atmosphere is very tiring. Some people love this film, I personally didn't because I just felt so tired while watching this film. The next one will be Raya and the Last Dragon from 2021. Now, this movie was perfection, to be honest. One of the best movies out of this year so far. Great characters, adventure and photography, a storyline out of the common, and great critique to the actual society about not trusting everyone. It's very enjoyable and it doesn't really have villains, it's just scare people from this apocalypse. Next one will be Cloverfield from 2008, 2 stars and a half and a whole heart. This is a found footage film, it's so incredible, great actors, impressive effects even though some of them looked so cheesy, but it's a very straightforward and you are always rooting for these characters and definitely a must watch. And the ending, I didn't expect it quite much and we're almost ending. The next one will be Aquaman from 2018, 3 stars and a whole heart. Our next one will be Fast and Furious 7 from 2015. Now, I love this film so much. I love this franchise so much. This is the one that really made me cry. 3 stars and a half and a whole heart. The next one will be Jeepers Creepers from 2001. Now, this is gonna be quite controversial because I gave 1 star and a half. And let me read my review. Second time watching this and I was so bored while watching this. It had a good concept for its time, but they just didn't know how to give it. The creeper didn't scare me at all. I even laughed for how cartoonish it looked like. The next one will be Final Destination 3 from 2006. Now, 5 stars and a whole freaking heart. This movie is incredible, one of my faves of all time. This movie defines me. This one will be Underwater from 2020. I gave 4 stars and a whole heart. This one will be The Grudge from 2020. Well, 1 star and a half. And what I have to say about this film is that it had a great concept, but they just reviewed a whole movie out of a whole remake and it just didn't make sense. And the marketing played with us because I thought the main demon was gonna be in the whole movie, but it just appeared for 7 seconds. So that's why I was quite disappointed. So many jump scares. And the next one will be almost finishing Scary Movie 2. 2 stars and a whole heart. These 2 movies that I watched are The Crazies from 2010, 3 stars. And the last film that I watched in March is The Taking of Deborah, Logan, a found footage film. 4 stars and a whole heart. One of the best found footage films ever made. I really admire the whole work behind this film because it must have been so hard. Brilliant performance and scare. The movie knows how to build up the tension and the proof that horror can and is creative and original. And that's right, I think this movie knew how to talk about an important topic that society maybe wants to avoid, and I really enjoyed the whole storyline. It's quite creepy, it's quite disturbing, and I actually felt scared in some parts. So definitely check it out. I'm definitely gonna try my best to own this because I loved it so much. Alright people, so those were the films that I watched over March. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel, give a like and leave a comment on your thoughts. Which movies are your favorites from the ones that I watched? Which ones did you enjoy? Which ones you didn't? Let me know in the comment section below or over my Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, all my platforms, my social media platforms. Let me know. I really hope you have a great end of the week and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.